Good morning. Happy Monday. I'm Adam Zdroik. I'm talking Leeds against Liverpool showdown Monday afternoon, wherever you are. We will have a Champions League show later Monday for the Tuesday slate. So that will be coming probably in about an hour from now. So if you're looking for that, wait a little bit for that. But otherwise, I'm talking the showdown because Monday's contest is as big as anything there was Sunday, or sorry, for Saturday slate. It's bigger than anything there was Sunday. We actually get a King of the Pitch ticket qualifier, $25 entry. I'm not sure how many King of the Pitch uh, qualifiers are for showdowns this season. It's not. Maybe it happens for maybe it happens for every showdown of the week. Maybe I'm just losing my mind, but it does seem kind of interesting that we're getting this random Leeds Liverpool King of the Pitch ticket here. So 134 entries here, and there's some more openings in it. I will not be joining that because just showdowns for King of the Pitch ticket against 134 other people. Not really one I want to spend my tickets on here. So what do we got here? We got Leeds home against Liverpool. Look at the odds. Leeds are 20% chance to win at home. Liverpool 60% chance. And let's pull up the table here. We do have tables for all leagues on RotoWire. And the big thing I want to check out is Liverpool away from home this season has been maybe one of the, I don't know, most interesting things. As you can see here, 13th in the table in terms of away form. They have 3 wins in 13 away matches. Sorry, is that right? Am I reading that right? No, they have 3 wins in 15 away matches, 4 draws, 8 losses in all of these away matches. They have as many away losses as Wolverhampton, Crystal Palace, Everton. Everton have the same amount of away losses as Liverpool do this season. Very interesting. -10 goal differential away from home. Leeds at home, 5-5-5. Not terrible. Leeds battling here for above the relegation zone, but they have been decent at home. They're taking points in 10 of 15 home matches. You look at the last time these teams played, it was 2-1. There's 2 goals in the first 14 minutes. Leeds got the opener, Rodrigo, then Salah, and then Leeds got one just before the match ended, 89th minute, and this game was right before the World Cup, so a bit of time ago. But I do think there's going to be goals in this match. I'll get into just in terms of how you're going to win that King of the Pitch ticket, how you're going to win that 10K. Maybe you go against the grain here and do a Alisson captain, do a Meslier captain, because everyone's thinking goals. Look, we got a 3.23 implied goal total. To win tournaments, if you want to be different, captain a goalkeeper and hope for that clean sheet. I don't think it's going to happen, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't think it's going to happen, because that's going to be one of your best routes to win in some contests. Because if one of these teams wins 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, maybe not 3-0, because you're not going to get the goalkeeper's not going to be the top option. But if you get a 1-0 match, what if Liverpool are maybe their defense is a little better? We got a healthy Konate, we got a healthy Van Dijk. Thiago should be back in the starting 11. We'll see what the front 3 looks like. Could be Gakpo, could be Jota again. We could get Nunez. Doubt Firmino is going to start, but Luis Diaz is going to be available off the bench. So that's just another wrinkle in there for Liverpool. As for Leeds, Javi Garcia said he didn't think he was going to rotate that much following the 5-1 loss against Crystal Palace. We'll see. I threw in Christensen in here over Junior Firpo, who did not look very good against Crystal Palace. So we could see Christensen. We could see different center backs. I doubt we're going to see a different formation. We could see a different front 4 for Liverpool or for Leeds here. So those are the main questions. There's not a ton of I don't know, different things that can happen really. I guess Leeds could start Rodrigo up at forward. They could start, whoever Ignatu is coming is an option as well. 4-3-3 instead of a 4-2-3-1, not a huge difference. It's not a ton that we're going to see here in terms of how these teams can be different. So Looking at this game, let me pull up the actual slate. So for cash games, really quickly, I mean, it's not the most difficult thing. We do have, it depends if you want to play Salah or not. Salah is 11K. Next highest player is Ignantu, who's 9,800. So there's a lot of things you can do with this slate, and it's not that difficult to put in a cash lineup, depending who you want to play, or even to put in a tournament lineup. But pretty easy strategy. Just captain TAA. He's going to be pretty popular cash games. He's going to be pretty popular in general. Throw in Robertson in this group. As for lead set pieces, we've had Aronson and Mark Roca splitting. As we scroll down, we see the massive 10 points or the 10 crosses, 10 corners that we got from Mark Roca a couple games ago. Then he only had one. So that's clearly a worry. You don't have to play Roca. You can if you're scrapping for money kind of a thing. How many set pieces are you going to get from Mark Roca? That's kind of where most of his numbers are coming from. He does have tackles won. He does have fouls drawn, and that kind of helped his floor a little bit in that game against Arsenal. But you don't actually need him. If you want him, go for it. You could really put together a lineup with TAA, Robertson, Aronson, Roca, and then whatever. There's a lot of good floor plays on the slate, just in terms of how this match will probably go. It's probably going to be up and down. As I said, probably going to be goals. It's the odds suggest goals. If we get Thiago starting, he's going to be 5,800. Luke Ayling seems to get to certain numbers every game, no matter the matchup. He's only 6,200. If you want to play Salah at 11K, you at least know he's going to be there for 90. Whereas whoever starts, whether it's Nunez, Gakpo, Firmino, Jota, who's still really cheap. What is he, 7K, Diego Jota? So we have all these Liverpool guys that we don't know how long they're going to go. I mean, Gakpo went almost the distance. No, he did go to the distance against Arsenal. He went the full 90, but now we have, depending how this match goes, what if Liverpool's leading? We're gonna see Luis Diaz. He's been training for a couple weeks, so I think it's a guarantee that Luis Diaz is going to come on, and that's going to mean probably not a full 90 for Gakpo. So we have those questions. What we know is Salah, even if you don't like him for his floor more so than a guy like Nunez, you at least know you're getting 90 from him, whereas the other two forwards probably 60, 70 minutes kind of a thing. So that's the main thing, especially in cash games. You want to get the Liverpool with the 90. So if you can fit Salah in, go for it. He'll probably be pretty popular because, as I said, Mark Roca will allow you to do kind of whatever you want with your lineup. But otherwise, pretty certain you want TAA. You can go TAA as your captain. Robertson, I don't see the reason for it unless you needed to save some money. What is the price difference? TAA is 12.3K captain. I mean, Robertson's pretty cheap, 10.8K. So those are options for cash games. I mean, as I said, probably don't want either one of these goalkeepers. You're just guessing for maybe, Meslier is going to get a bunch of saves or whatever, but there's really no reason to go goalkeeper in cash games when you have the Mark Rocas, who's probably going to go 90 and going to have a split role in set pieces down there at like sub 5K. So it's not that difficult to make a lineup. As for tournaments, that's another story. So we can go. How do you want to play this? Do you want to play what the odds suggest? 2-1 result for Liverpool, 3-2, even 2-2, 2-1 Leeds, whatever. So no matter how this matchup goes, I think you have to assume that Robertson and TAA are going to be set for pretty good floors. The only way that doesn't happen is if maybe Liverpool score a couple goals early and it's all from the forwards, and then Liverpool they don't really have to push. And then you're not going to have those big floors from the Robertsons, from the TAAs. But even then, I still think they can rack up points. But in that case, then you don't need those guys. But I still think that just in terms of how this matchup is going to go, you can fade them. It's not the craziest thing in the world. I mean, you look at, but what else you're going to do, I guess, is the question. Are you going to do, we'll see who starts at left back for Leeds. Are you going to do Christensen? Are you going to do Ayling? Are you going to do a bunch of those Leeds guys? I mean, We'll see if Ignantu starts, but he's the most expensive. As you can see on the projected 11s, what the most expensive player we're getting is Jack Harrison. Normally, without set pieces, maybe he doesn't take corners. Jack Harrison, he's off of corners, but he will take a set piece or two from the pitch. So that makes him in range. But the thing about Jack Harrison is that it seems like Javi Garcia likes him, prefers him to go 80 plus minutes, close to full 90s, whereas prior managers, that wasn't the case. Now we have Aronson, as we can see in his game logs. I'll click on his profile here. Rotoware.com/soccer trial, free 48-hour trial. Again, once lineups come out, we'll be in the Discord as well, rotowire.com/chat to get in there. But look at Aronson's game log here. Even if he split in set pieces, we got 60 minutes. Sure, this was a game when Leeds fell apart and they had massive substitutes in the second half, but 74 minutes in the win against Nottingham Forest. At Arsenal, 65 minutes. Again, I guess that was a loss. So you have all these kind of weird matchups where there's just a ton of goals. I mean, look at all these goals in these Leeds matchups. Reminder, all these have happened without Tyler Adams. I think that kind of shows a lot here. Just not the same team without Tyler Adams. They're allowing so many goals in these matches. Very relevant, but I'm just more looking at Aronson in terms of if you wanted someone to captain him. So if you want to go the Leeds route at captain, Bamford's in range. Pretty much all these guys are in range. Harrison would be in range. I wouldn't be as likely to go Sinisterra or Aronson because those guys seem to be the ones getting subbed off first. Roca's probably not your guy either. I mean, if you're getting a goal from Leeds, it's going to be from these front four. And you could really go anywhere. I mean, I know I said no Aronson and Sinisterra, but I would do Sinisterra over Aronson. Aronson just kind of struggles to get on the score sheet, struggles to actually score. So I probably wouldn't look that way. Zdroik is not a massive scorer. Robin Koch, not a massive scorer. Both of them have shots on goal that last game, but just not these center backs that are getting goals here. Christensen, Ayling. I mean, it seems like Leeds usually get their goals from their front four forwards. In terms of winning tournaments with Liverpool, are you going to win with TAA? Are you going to win with Salah? Or are you going to win with some of these other guys? Seems like Thiago should be fine for 90. Played off the bench last weekend, had another full week of training, so he should be good. A good pivot would be to captain Robertson because we've seen plenty of times when Robertson gets more points in TAA. They attack more on Robertson's side. Maybe he gets 10 plus crosses. Maybe he gets the assist, and where TAA is, maybe he gets his crosses, but he just doesn't get the assist. So a good pivot there. Just plug in Robertson, and that'll even allow you to do a few more things because he is 10.8K at captain. I mean, I'll just do that real quickly. Robertson, Salah. Let's just do TAA with this lineup. You can do kind of whatever you want, really. I mean, why is Christensen so expensive? I'm not sure. I guess he had back-to-back games with goals, so we're not going to go there. You can do Aronson in this route. You could plug in Thiago. If you don't think Leeds are going to get that many opportunities, you could go Roca. And then you're left with like 9,400. I mean, you could go Rodrigo off the bench. I could definitely see something weird where who's ever winning the king of the pitch ticket, who's ever winning the 10K, we could get a Liverpool forward off the bench to get a goal. We could get Rodrigo off the bench to get a goal, and that's going to win. And that's going to win some money. If you want to do that route, go for it. I envision that happening just in an up and down match where these teams are going to sub their guys. That is something to consider if you play a bunch of lineups. So that's an option as well. But yeah, I mean, if you want the goals, just back a goal scorer. If you think there's going to be more than 2-3 goals, Robertson, TA are still there, but you probably want the goal scorer. How popular will Jota be as captain? That'll be something to consider. He's down there. He's cheaper than he's only 300 cheaper than Robertson, so maybe he won't be that popular. Those guys are kind of in that same range. There's not a ton to say. You're just looking at these lineups. You can go a lot of ways. Uh, the two popular captains, as usual, for this are will be Salah, will be TAA. Do you want to move off of that? That's kind of what it comes down to. Do you want to find where the other production is going to come? If you think there's going to be goals, find those goals. Find those goals for Liverpool. Find the goal scorers for Leeds. I mean, how are you going to read this match? I mentioned Liverpool away from home. I mean, you look at some of these results, and it's not too pretty. Uh, Last away match, that pretty boring Chelsea match, which neither team really looked too threatening. Lost at Manchester City, lost at Real Madrid. They lost 1-0 at Bournemouth. They had the game at Crystal Palace where they probably should have won, but that was scoreless. Beat Newcastle, beat Wolverhampton. So let's go back to the goalkeepers here. What is Alisson? Alisson is more expensive than Robertson, so that I mean, again, price isn't a massive worry, but we're gonna want to throw Salah in this. We're gonna want to throw TAA. Let's just throw Robertson into this for fun. We still have plenty of money. Like you can just get Roca here and call it a day. I mean, what else? I mean, how popular will Allison be? 30%? Is that too high? 31% clean sheet odds kind of seems high actually. It feels like this should be 20% Liverpool clean sheet odds, and maybe that's going to lead to higher Alisson percentages. But let's see, 7,400. So we got Alisson, we got Salah, we got TAA, we got Robertson, we got Jota. Just throw in Mark Roca. There's your lineup. There's your Alisson captain. You got the 1-0, 2-0 win or something like that. Not many people are going to play for this. How many people are going to play Alisson captain? They'll probably fall into this lineup actually. So you probably will be duped if you play this lineup. If you want to be different, throw in someone like Thiago instead of Jota. Throw in something weird. Throw in someone other than Roca to get your Leeds points, that kind of thing. So if you want to go the scoreless draw, or if you think that Leeds can win and hold Liverpool scoreless, which just doesn't seem possible, but anything's possible. So let's just do a Meslier captain and see what it looks like. Meslier 7.8K. Jack Harrison assist to Patrick Bamford goal, something like that. So you got those two guys. You got the set pieces. You got Robertson. You got TAA. So you got Liverpool pushing for the final 45 minutes, somehow not scoring. And I mean, you can almost get Salah on this lineup if you tinker Harrison and Bamford. But again, it's not too difficult. You can throw Gakpo in this. You could throw another Leeds guy if you want. Sinistera, maybe it's 2-0 Leeds, which again seems kind of unlikely, but pretty easy. Would we be surprised if Liverpool don't score? Probably, but even a scoreless draw here, you got to think that you're going to get the floor points from these Liverpool guys, and then you're going to get the clean sheet, 5 shots on target, 5 saves for Meslier kind of thing. So this is a kind of weird slate where you can do whatever you want. If you think there's going to be a clean sheet, go with one of the goalkeepers. If you think there's going to be goals on both sides, which I do, I think there's going to be goals on both sides. So I'm going to be playing for goals. You just got to be a little bit different than everyone else. As I said, Salah, TAA will be the ones that'll be most popular captain. And at this point, maybe you shouldn't worry about minutes. That's why you can look at the Jotas. You can look at the Gakpos. Would it be crazy if, this is 2-2, 2-1, and Salah doesn't make the score sheet? Maybe he's getting 90 minutes, but maybe it's just not there for him. Granted, if we do get Junior Firpo in there going against Salah, I do think that's an advantage for Salah. We'll see if Christensen's in there. Still, obviously, Salah really good, so he'll have an advantage no matter who he plays. So you still got to think Liverpool kind of attack that side. So I do think it's kind of hard to fade Salah. But again, maybe they attack that side, but he doesn't get the goal or assist kind of thing. So You can find the goals from anywhere. I don't know about Fabinho or Jordan Henderson. Maybe you get the center back goal. Maybe you get Van Dijk, Kanate kind of a thing. Leeds, maybe go the American route. Maybe get Weston McKennie in there. Maybe get Aronson in there. Hope for a goal from one of those guys. But again, I'd say if Sinisterra is in there and you're worried about minutes, I'd like him more than Aronson just because he has more upside. I don't care about set pieces at this point. How much is 2-3 corners going to matter for Aronson when Sinisterra's upside is just better than Aronson's? So I kind of like Sinisterra in terms of that. Yeah, so that's kind of all I got. I got Champions League show in 30 minutes, so I'll rest up in that meantime. But check out that show. Thank you for watching this. Good luck on the showdown. Again, find us in the Discord, rotowire.com/chat to get into the Discord. I didn't go over the goal odds. Salah's only plus 120, so that's not massive, but Gakpo plus 160, Jota plus 160, Bamford plus 230. There you go. Good luck on this one, and we'll see everyone for the Champions League 2-gamer. We got Napoli and Chelsea in need of wins in Tuesday's games. But this is Leeds, Liverpool. Good luck.